This is a really big assumption about cults that is absolutely not true. They are empathetic to the people that they think are in the right or that are good, just like we are. When we see things hurting them, what's everyone doing on here? FAFO. It's the same thing. Even if you think you're coming at it from the right angle, that's what's happening. I was in a cult. I was one of the most empathetic people you have ever met. I owned a company. I had 60 employees. 10 of them were out of prison. I took care of their kids. I made sure that they made all the appointments they needed to go to. I clothed their children. I made sure they had amazing Christmases. I fixed their cars. I paid for their hospital visits. I didn't have to do any of that, but their lives mattered to me. People in cults are plenty empathetic. It's just not towards the people they think are the enemy, because they think they are literally evil. They think they are here to destroy America. They are brainwashed. That doesn't make them not have empathy. It's just not pointed at the direction you want it to be. You know, they have empathy for unborn babies that they think are real souls being murdered. This is why it is so important to learn about cults, because we make these assumptions, and then what goes with that assumptions is dehumanizing. They have no empathy. Well, if you have a whole, 77 million people that have no empathy and they're just plain evil, what should we do with them? If they can't be fixed, if they can't be changed, and they're just selfish people, what should we do with them? Because when we hate, we lose reason and judgment, and we get a lot of oxytocin, and we get a shit ton of dopamine. And those create blind spots, and it puts a blanket statement across all of them. It's just a giant stereotype. None of them have empathy. They are all trash humans. It's just not true. They see things at a 180 because inside their world, it looks very different. They are brainwashed. They don't know they're in a cult. So the things they're fighting for, they believe are good and true. It's not because they're simply evil. That is absolutely untrue. I'm not saying there aren't bad characters over there, but both sides are going to have bad characters. And we get culty-ish on the left when we get very black and white thinking, and we start dehumanizing. And when you get into characteristics of cults, dehumanizing and believing groups of people shouldn't exist because they can't be changed or they're just no good, those are building blocks of a cult. So we have to be very careful in the language we use, and that is why it is so important to learn about this stuff, because if we let our hate take over, and humans love to hate, and we love to hate in groups, like it's an addiction, and we all have it right now. I went through it, and it about killed me. It was awful. Like my rage was number one. That's what I cared about, was my rage. I didn't care about anything else. They were all garbage. That there's no nuance to that. There's no gray areas. And cults only believe in black and white thinking. You're good or you're bad. You're right or you're wrong. We have to build gray area because most people live in the gray area. And when they come out of a cult, they go, oh my gosh, how did I even think that way? But if you haven't been through that, you don't know. So that's why it is better to ask people that have been in cults what it's like. They don't have agency the way that people assume that they do. Their brain does not belong to them. They have an identity in a cult. That makes them not separate from it. They don't have their own opinions and their own voice. I've had psychiatrists, medical doctors, therapists, counselors, politicians reaching out to me saying, this is the way forward. This is what we need to do, is learn how cults work, because they're everywhere. And they're just getting stronger because of the internet. And it's so dangerous because we've been screaming for 8 years, not bothering to stop and figure out and deal with the fact that's cool. And there's only certain ways to deal with them. And we've done all the wrong ways because a cult needs an opposition. Trump created us as the opposition. We're danger. We're evil. We're out to get them. They're not safe around us. And so they are going to fight us. And as long as we fight them, we prove Trump right. So there are ways to engage them that help deconstruct that. That's why I'm going to teach things like that on YouTube at Cult College if you are interested. But I really hope that people will learn, because these kind of stereotypes are dangerous. And part of why they're dangerous is when You get enough people that get into it. They just shouldn't exist because they're all bad and evil. You can get a strong man that can pop up and say, well, I know what to do about that. And the hate will be so strong, you'll go, sounds good. That can happen to either side, and that is why it is so dangerous.